Congratulations! You've just purchased the perfect angle.
Hi, I'm Susan Powder.
And I'm Phil Tyne.
We're so thrilled that you have the perfect angle. Phil and I are going to show you how to make the perfect angle work for you.
Now, before we actually start to exercise, the first thing you need to do is to make sure you've received everything that you've ordered. You should have the perfect angle, my guide to fitness, the 3 strengthening bands. Now, you should have a yellow band, which is light resistance, a medium or pink band, which is medium resistance, and a heavy band, which is the purple band. You should also have 2 adjustable handles. Now, one handle will have an adjuster ball and the other one will not. And this instructional video. Now, if for some reason you don't receive something, you don't have to send it back. Just call the number in your guide and we'll be sending it out to you promptly.
Good. Now that you guys know what you're supposed to get and you're ready to start, the most important thing to understand is modification. Phil, with all your experience in the world of health and fitness, I know you know how important modification is for people to begin to get fit again.
It is, and modification is simply just modifying the equipment to work for you, doing the exercises your way and not necessarily the way someone else happened to tell you to do it. And
now,
make it work for you and do it correctly.
One of the questions that people may have is, when do I know it's time to go to the next level? Well, my definition of it is the minute you're doing this and filing your nails at the same time, it's time to go to the next resistance band or increase the repetitions a bit. It's very important to me and to Phil that you guys really use this piece of equipment. Let's not make this another piece of equipment that you buy and you use once or twice and you stick underneath your bed or stick on a shelf and it collects dust. This really can change your body. I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't believe that. So let's get it. Let's make it work for you. Let's get some strength.
Let's assemble the perfect angle.
First of all, let's take a look at the perfect angle foam. Now, you have a piece of foam here, and it has a hole drilled through it, and there's a plastic sleeve that goes right through the center. Now, when we're doing exercises with the foam, you don't want to be pressing against the plastic sleeve. You want to be pressing on the sides of the perfect angle. So it's important to just pick up your perfect angle, look at it, and get some landmarks. This will be considered the top of the perfect angle. The other thing to remember about the foam is that this is the base. You'll hear us talk about place your feet on the base of the perfect angle. That means this wide part. And one of the ways I always remember that is that the little arrows sort of point down here toward the base. Now, this will be a strengthening band, and this actually is the medium strengthening band, and you'll notice that there's a little difference on the ends here. One end has a little flare inside of it. Now, that flare is used to hold the number 1 handle. Now, you'll notice that this handle does not have the ball or the little hook on it, and we're going to come from the inside, from the handle part, and we're going to place the end of the strengthening band that does not have the flare. Now, it goes right through the center of the handle, comes out the other side, and then we're going to feed it through.
Oh, I see.
Until this flared end
holds it in.
Contacts, and now that handle is in there for all the time that you need to use it. And we're going through the sleeve of the perfect angle, and it's coming out over here by the top of it. Now we have a special handle here, and this is a really neat device here. We can just turn this handle right like this, and you notice that the ball kind of dropped right down in that little hole there, and there's a little handle right here. This is really neat. We're going to take the other end, and that's the end without the flared end. You don't want to try to be shoving that flared end in there. You're never going to do it. Watch, I just push that through. The ball jumps up, and I stick it through there. And let's just leave a little bit here. That'll give us something to look forward to and later on down the road. Now, notice the little ball is sticking up there. I'm going to take my hand, and I'm going to just push down with my thumb. We grab the little handle. We pull down on the handle. That'll lock that ball in there. Now, something I'd always like you to do. I always believe in safety. It's safety first. Grab a hold of the bottom of the strengthening band and give it a little tug. I think we've got it all set up. It's ready to go. Maybe we should go over and start exercising.
I'd love to. This is going to be great. Let's go.
Remember, after age 35, the average American loses 1/2 pound of muscle per year and gains 1 pound of fat per year.
All right, Phil, you said 21 exercises, right?
I said 21, and I'll give you 21.
Show me number 1.
You're ready to start? Okay.
Show me number 1, Phil.
Let's show the position first. Now, the perfect angle, it has the perfect angle. It has the top of the perfect angle, remember we discussed, and the base. So it's really important that the little sleeves here, the tubes, are on your side.
So the base is facing forward.
The base is facing forward, and the top is in your waist. Now, some of you won't be able to put this in because of your body shape, and we'll talk about that
If you have too much fat on the abdominal wall, I can say it. I used to have it. It's okay. If your stomach is too fat, then put it wherever you want it so it's comfortable. The bottom line is you're going to be doing the same thing. Don't worry. I'll add the diplomacy.
Don't worry. I got the don't worry down great. Okay.
Number 1, the stomach crunch.
Going to lean forward
right.
and squeeze. Now, this is a nice, slow movement. This is not a race, all right?
Do I have to hang on to this thing?
No, you don't have to, but just put your hands there and just squeeze down.
And lift up. You really do feel it in the abdominal wall.
And lift up.
You do your repetition, which is 1. You lift up. The resistance is against the piece of foam right here. And you'll feel it. Believe me. Squeeze it and lift it up, right?
And control it in both directions so you do nice and slow and easy. And I always like to have people just kind of hold it a second and come back up. That helps you with your perfect form. Now, for some of you, it might be a difficult area because of the bust area. It might be difficult to do this exercise. You can actually place your hands out in front here and use your hands to sort of guide down. Now, there's another modification.
Well, if you're large-chested, it is hard sometimes. But you know what? I'll tell you something else.
Well,
I'll tell you a little secret. Oh, sure. But I'll tell you a little secret. When I was 260 pounds and I tried to lie down and do a sit-up, which is what we're doing here, working the abdominal wall, I almost suffocated myself. I really did. So you don't have to worry about that with the perfect angle.
Okay, let's do 2 more.
Okay.
Ready? Exhale when you go down. It almost squeezes the air out of you, so it's easy to remember.
All right. Using the abdominal wall to do the movement, it really does make a difference.
Number 2 is the inner thigh squeeze to firm up those thighs.
I like to scoot up on the chair, and it's really important here form-wise to keep your back nice and straight.
Right, and straight does not mean curved. Straight means lifted, almost as if you have a steel rod through your spine. Lifted, don't curve your back. Stay lifted, chest is up, shoulders are relaxed, and get ready to do the exercise.
Okay, now we're going to take and make sure the little logo is facing up, because that'll give us the little rods that are facing up. You don't want to put the rods between your legs and try to squeeze.
Because it ain't going to happen.
It's not going to work. So remember, the top of the angle goes between the legs.
Got it?
The base is facing out, and the logo is facing up. That's the way you can remember the inner thigh. Now we're going to go ahead and just squeeze in. I like to put my feet about under my knees or a little closer.
So would you say shoulder width apart with the feet, energy's in the heels, back is straight, shoulders are relaxed, and you want the movement to come from the inner thigh. And squeeze in with the inner thighs and release out with the inner thighs. Again, you've got to make the muscle do the movement. Don't just sit here and do this and watch television. It won't do anything.
I'm not doing the right form.
And you look a little goony doing it too, Phil, but other than that.
When you start screwing up like this and doing bad form, your whole posture starts to change.
Yeah,
now you're doing this, you're not doing... Take a little pride in your exercise program. Sit up, squeeze in. Now, if it's a little bit difficult the first time, you can also add your hands and let it help you. There's a little modification for you. If it's your first time, you're saying, boy, that's a little more difficult than I thought. Use your hands, squeeze in. You will start to get firmer, stronger.
Exercise 3, the chest squeeze.
And the base is facing forward. The logo is facing up. And we're going to squeeze in.
Isn't this the old, we must? No, never mind.
Yes, but you can actually start to feel this in there.
So you can squeeze in, you can press out. You can squeeze in again, shoulders always down because you don't want tension in the neck, press out. Again, squeeze it in, press it out. Don't forget to breathe because oxygen feeds the muscles. Give them fuel, breathe.
Because it's a chest exercise, it's important to blow out when you squeeze together. So think of blowing the piece of foam together. So you're blowing, it's hard to do that and talk.
What are you doing, Phil?
Blowing out. Really important because this is a nice chest expansion movement and you can increase your oxygen capacity by doing that.
And again, it may seem slow. Slow is good. Fast is easy. I mean, I've been trying to say that for a long time. To my husband, I've been saying for so long, no, slow is difficult. Controlled is difficult. Fast means nothing. You don't have to jump around like a lunatic to get fit. You have to, what, do you need a rest?
I know when you do this, you're going to talk a while and I'm going to get worn out.
Trip. Okay, all right, chest done.
Number 4 is the biceps curl to help firm up your arms.
And the bicep muscle is what shortens the arm and curls your arm up like this.
Now I got kids, I got groceries, I got car seats, so that's what you pick up and you lift. It supports the movement. And, ladies, when you put the sundress on, I'm telling you now, you burn the fat and underneath you have a nice, well-developed muscle, not bulk. It takes so long to forget bulk. Strength, looks good and feels good. Okay, bicep, get me a bicep, Phil.
Okay, we're gonna get used to the top of the perfect angle is going to go where the bend is. That's where the top always goes. It goes the bend of the waist, it goes inside the leg. So if you remember now, the top of the perfect angle is going to go in the bend of the arm, but you want to just curl and squeeze. A real good thing here is to squeeze and hold it. So you squeeze in,
hold the movement.
Think about this muscle. Picture it in your mind. It's going to contract. It's okay to have strong, firm, healthy arms. Now,
also, another thing that may help is not clasping the hands, because then you have a tendency to grab. Lift the hands up and squeeze it with your forearm. Require the forearm to do the movement. Require the bicep muscle to press in and release it slowly. Again, the slower the movement, the more controlled, the more extended, lifted, and controlled, the more effective the movement.
Number 5 is the leg curl, which tones the hamstrings.
Now notice that I put the top of the perfect angle where my knee bends. And the base is facing that way, and the logo and the little hole are facing this way. So the little hole is great because you can put your finger in there and just place it against the back of your legs.
Right here.
And what we're really going to concentrate on is squeezing our heels. The heels of my feet are going to squeeze toward the floor, and I'm going to hold it a second. And Susan has modified it perfectly.
I'm squeezing my heel into my butt, basically. I'm squeezing it in, and right here, you want to work the hamstring muscle. Walking, this muscle helps you walk.
What's really great, if you can get down on the floor like I am, if you'll pull a little bit, you feel it stretch your low back. I mean, if you've ever gone to a doctor with a back problem, he'll say, bring your knees into your chest to stretch. And you can stretch, and then you can also stretch when you let your legs come up like this. This is a hamstring stretch. So we stretch, we come down,
and squeeze it in.
Squeeze. We're thinking about the muscle that's contracting. We're relaxing. We can stretch it back up. It feels so good to stretch. This is a very healthy way to stretch your hamstrings, by the way.
So it supports
and
the
your low
movement.
back.
Yeah. I think the assistance of this is real important because it does assist you to do the exercise. And if you're just beginning, or if you have some physical consideration to consider, you can still increase the strength in your muscles. You may need a little assistance. So what? So get the assistance and increase the strength.
Exercise number 6 is the assisted sit-up for your stomach.
Okay, this is such a great exercise because, one, it supports the lower back. It gives you the support. It helps you do the lift. It helps you do a sit-up, and you will feel the contractions in your stomach. So let's take it so that the base, this is real important, the base
is against your back,
or just snug it up against the buttocks there, and you can see that the logo is facing this direction here.
Look at me. I am in position, ready to go.
She is ready.
Do I look
now.
like the Esther Williams of sit-ups right now?
She likes this exercise also.
I do a lot.
Now you can do it like this and support your head, but don't use your head as a lever. You don't want to be pulling on your neck. You don't want to be putting it out of alignment.
Let me explain why. Sit-ups are a real issue. You start and we'll talk.
Okay.
You go, I'll just lie here. No. A lot of people say when they begin sit-ups, and that's why the perfect angle is so good, they say, I feel it in my neck and my shoulders, but I don't feel... That's because if you have a weak abdominal wall without the assistance of the perfect angle, here's what you end up doing. You end up using your back and your neck to try and get up. That's why your neck and your back hurt. If you're going to have your hands behind your head, just let your fingertips touch your head. Don't clasp them together because that encourages pulling. So keep them there, press down, you lift up.
Number 7, the side sit-up works your waist or obliques.
The perfect angle is supporting you. It's giving you that little lift, and you're coming up and doing it nice.
So it's a press down and it's a lift up. You can do 15 on each side if you can, or as many repetitions as you can, right?
Right, and if you want to do more repetitions, do 15, relax, take a minute, stretch a little bit, go back and do another 15.
I think the key to this whole thing, and why I'm so glad we have a chance to do an instructional video like this with a piece of equipment like the perfect angle, once people understand that perfect form means thinking about the muscle, it means making sure the back is lifted, strong, the chest is nice and lifted, shoulders are down. That form applies to everything you do. Everything you do in strength training.
Do one, if that's all you can do, because you know if you work hard and you stay in form, sooner or later, and we can't tell you when, but sooner or later you'll do 2.
That's right.
And if you can do 4, it's a doubling effect.
Number 8 is the knee to chest exercise, which works your lower stomach and hip flexors.
We're going to take the perfect angle and we're going to place the perfect edge here, or the top edge of it, against the hip joint. That means that the little plastic and the logo are facing out, and the base is basically facing you.
And this is amazing. I mean, I know you've invented this, but it amazes me. This thing really fits your body.
Okay, we're going to place it right there. The base is facing you. Now, a really nice thing is you can just put your thumbs in the little holes on the side.
Hold it down.
Right, now you want to keep your your knees bent,
Okay.
and we're just going to kind of roll your legs up and lift them up off the ground. Now, don't just bring them up straight. That's not real good on your low back, so we're going to roll them up.
Right.
And we're going to keep our neck and back nice and straight, and we're just going to squeeze. Now, this is a difficult exercise, so you want to keep your feet up and just squeeze. And you don't have to squeeze the perfect angle very much, just a nice, easy little compression. And relax, straighten it up a little bit.
I think the key here is, as you're doing this, making sure that you're relaxing, again, the neck and the shoulders, because the tendency is to squeeze up, to tense up in the neck and shoulder area. Another thing you want to make sure, and you see with Phil, his lower back is on the ground. One of the things that helps make sure that happens is that his knees go over the abdominal wall. He's not putting the energy in his lower back as he's pressing out. So you're squeezing all the way in and pressing all the way out. It's kind of like the squeeze is coming from the heels through to the knees and squeezing through. It's real nice.
Now this is
well done, Phil.
Now this is
this guy knows what he's doing.
This is an advanced exercise, so you might not want to do this the first time. You might want to stay with the assisted sit-ups until you get stronger, until you get to where you can actually do this exercise, and just do a couple and then see how it goes.
So this is something you don't have to do if you're uncomfortable doing it, because you will increase the strength in the lower abdominal walls and all the other strength that we're increasing in the lower body, and eventually this movement will be easier for you. So if this is uncomfortable, don't do it.
And now you want to roll up and get up nice and
Support your
easy
lower
and
back
support
together.
so that we don't.
Well, look, I didn't have to do one of those, did I?
Got out of that one again.
No, I'll do while you're explaining the next. I'll do. Go ahead. I want to do my share, Phil Tyne.
There you go. Nice and
Squeezing in,
squeeze.
yeah, and pressing out. The control in this, just like any other exercise, is so very important. Squeeze in and press out. Squeeze in again. The resistance you're pressing against is the foam.
Number 9, the assisted push-up works out your chest, shoulders, and triceps.
We're going to have the two little plastic ends are facing out, and the base is facing straight ahead. We know what the base is because we know that the top of it's facing this way.
All right.
Now we're going to put our hands along the side, and notice that I just picked that up with my chest. I just put the chest on the top,
I like
and
this.
I picked it up. Now Susan's going to keep her knees down, and we're going to go down
Press down.
and push up.
And push up.
And you don't have to go all the way up because it'll fall away from you. So
Okay,
just
now
push down.
this is a key for women. I know, because I've seen this so much in my studio. Here's a problem with a lot of push-ups. With or without the perfect angle, keep your bottom pushed forward. Your hips are forward. Don't stick your butt up in the air and do this, because you're not using your chest muscles to do much of anything doing this. But with a push-up, you got to make sure your hips are pressed forward, your back is very supported, and the whole body goes down. It's like a traffic jam here. I'm going to hit you in the bottom in a minute, Phil. Watch.
Here we go.
Your whole body goes down and your whole body goes up. And again, if you do one using your chest, Phil, push-up uses almost all the muscles in the upper body.
The upper body uses your chest,
Shoulders.
your pectoralis major and minor, triceps, and your shoulders.
Number 10 is the seated row, which works the upper back.
Now we're going to do the seated rowing exercise, and seated meaning seated in a chair or seated on the floor. So we've got the bands in here. Now one of the things you want to check, every time you use the handle, you want to check to make sure that the strengthening band is locked in, so you just pull and that'll lock it in.
Okay.
I've got a little bit of a strengthening band sticking out here, so I'm going to push it through the end of the handle. That way it's nice and tidy, we should say.
Nice and tidy.
Okay.
Cleanliness is
Now-
next too. Right.
Now, the strengthening band is going through the perfect angle, and I have the base. Let's flip it over here so everybody can see the logo.
Okay.
We have the base facing me, and that's important. You don't want to be turning it over this way and turning it over this way. Just remember the base is where I'm going to put my feet. Susan already is way ahead of me.
Energy in the heels.
Don't ask.
Don't. Phil, are you going to scream stop the insanity next, Phil?
We have our feet on the base. Now, for both of us, we want to sit up really straight.
And again, I'm going to show
firm.
everybody with you, Phil. Phil's
She's gonna
not
make me
arching his back.
exercise.
He's not arching his back. His back is lifted and strong, but he's not arching. He's not doing this. And what he's doing is he's making the upper back muscles, he's requiring them to do the work. Same thing here, I'm sitting. My back is supported, I'm lifted, I'm on the edge of the chair. The energy's really in the heels here. It kind of helps balance a bit, doesn't it? What you want to avoid in this exercise is bringing the forearms in. This is a very common
Yeah, you don't want to do
problem in
this.
this. You don't want to bring the forearms in because you're not then using as much of the upper back as you want to use. You want to lift up through the elbows. You want to press out. Never, ever, ever locking an elbow. To lock a joint while you're doing any movement does nothing but potentially hurt the joint. It doesn't require a lot of strength to do it. So locking a joint means don't do this. Don't lock the elbow. You want to reach up, lift up, use the upper back, and press down. Soft elbow.
You know, some people might say, why should I do this exercise? exercise. I don't really care that much about my upper back. This is a lot about balance. We exercise the muscles in the front of the shoulder joint. It's important to exercise the muscles behind the shoulder joint. You don't have as many injuries, you don't have as lack of strength, and you get out of balance, your back gets out of balance, you start having back problems.
Number 11, the seated curl works your biceps.
Our feet are in the same position, our knees are bent. Remember what Susan said earlier about having a rod going straight down your spine and coming out to the floor, so that's going to support us. We're going to start with our elbows slightly bent. You don't want to be locking and locking, that causes a lot of joint damage. We're just going to curl up.
Now you can't tell me this is any different than a bicep dumbbell. I have done so many bicep dumbbell curls. This is the same thing. Try and do 15, press it down. Again, shoulders have to be relaxed, because if you're busy doing this, you're not getting the strength to the bicep muscle. You're just dealing with the tension in your neck and shoulders all the time. Breathe always, press up and press it out. You know, the thing about breathing, Phil, a lot of people say that there's a certain way to breathe, and I'm sure there probably is. What I found is that just to get back into the habit of breathing is so very important. So don't get caught up in, are you breathing right? Just breathe. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. It literally feeds oxygen, feeds every cell and every muscle in your body, and you're working muscles, and they need the energy of oxygen.
Number 12, hip and back extension for your hips and back.
And we're going to just grab a hold and we're going to bring it into our knees like we did before. Okay, so that's
again,
a nice, safe way to go down.
Okay, when you're going down right now, you can support your body down if it's more comfortable. Here's the modification for that move. And then you can get your perfect angle if you want. Support your back going down. Go ahead, Phil.
Okay, grab the handles and just do a nice little curl so that your hands come up by your shoulders.
Oh, I like this.
This is a real simple. This is going to feel great on your low back. I was at a gym, we're going to just push down.
Oh, I love this.
And
is this going to make my bottom look better?
It's going to do the hip extensors, the buttocks muscles, and the lower back. I used to have a gym, and we had a machine that literally cost $3,000, and it did nothing but this. You don't feel a lot of this. This is not an exercise where you go, gosh, I can't do this. This is an exercise that feels nice and relaxed. You feel it in your low back.
Now, Phil, I'm not putting my legs all the way to the ground, and that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great. That's a nice modification.
Okay.
And if you've ever had any back problems, you want to just take it nice and easy.
You press down like this, you squeeze, and you lift up, and boy, do you feel this. Squeeze down right there and lift up. Press it down. You don't need to go all the way to the ground. If it's comfortable, you can take your feet all the way down. If that hurts your lower back at all, don't do it. Remember to breathe. Halfway down, press up. Remember the two parts. There's the press right there, and there's the press knees into chest. I like to think of it as pressing through mud. I know that doesn't sound too attractive, but think about this concept. Press slowly down, even with the added resistance of the perfect angle, and then press the knees through mud back. Slow. Press down and squeeze back. You want to get the most out of every movement, and this will help you do it.
Number 13, the leg press works your quadriceps and hips.
Let's go ahead and lengthen this tube a little bit, because we're going to go to a... Now, remember what we do with the tube? And the strengthening band, we pull up, and that releases the ball.
Show me again. I take the strengthening tube that's inside, and I pop... Well done, Phil.
Oh, it just pops right out there.
I'm telling you, I've learned to listen to you, Phil.
Okay, now we're going to do the leg press. This is one of the women's favorite exercises, one of my favorite exercises. It's going to work your quadricep muscles. It's going to work a little bit in the hip and the lower back.
Is my perfect angle right?
No,
correct?
you want to turn it up so that the base is where your feet go.
Got it.
Good call. I love that.
All right.
And some of you, you'll have a little trouble with it. You'll look and say, oops, my perfect angle is not perfect anymore.
Uh-oh.
It's flipped over the wrong way.
And if it's not perfect, make it perfect.
So we want to make it perfect. Put their feet right here on the base.
Okay.
We're going to grab the handles. Now, just scoot up a little bit, and then we're just going to lean back. And if you pull with your hands, it'll pull the perfect angle into your feet. So you're going to pull, and we're going to just lower ourselves down.
Okay, now again, if you have a back problem, let me show you how you can get down. All you do is use your hands. Place your hands behind your back. You can do the exact same thing Phil just did. Then you lift your knees up slowly.
Nice and slowly. Let's start about the knees.
Okay.
And we're just going to push up. Now remember, don't lock the knees. We don't want that locking motion. You want a nice soft knee. We're going to come down, knees to our chest.
Okay, I got it, Phil.
Push up.
Now what you're doing here, guys, and this is amazing. I just said I got it because you balance it first, you relax your body, and you're going to use your legs to press against the perfect angle, and again, push in. Think of your knees pressing through mud, sand, water, something right here. Press them down.
Yes, this is a very important exercise to think about doing it nice and slowly.
The point of the perfect angle is to increase the strength in your upper, abdominal, and lower body so that your body changes. That it really feels good when you get back the strength that you thought you'd lost. You can do it with correct form. Slow, resisted, controlled, extended, and using the muscles that you're trying to regain strength in to do the movements. You can feel this right here.
Number 14, the pullover, works your lats or back muscles.
So let's shorten this tubing a little bit. And remember, we're just going to grab a hold of the strengthening band.
I know this, Phil, and we're going to pull it
pull
through.
on the inside there, and it pops the little ball out.
We're going to untuck our tidy right here.
Now, let's figure this out. Let's just go till the handles are just a little bit farther than the perfect angle. So we got a couple inches on each side.
Oh, we're going lower.
We're going a little bit lower now.
Low-yo, okay.
Low-yo.
Here we go.
All right, now lock it back in. Remember, if you just pull it in there, you're having trouble with the little ball come out, it's because you're not pulling down and locking it in. Now grab the bottom and just pick up the two little ends and place it behind, like behind your head. And now we're just going to rock back and lay down like that.
All right, now what you can do as an alternate is you can put the perfect angle right here. And again, support yourself going down. Alternate. Did you like that word, Phil? How'd you like that? Did you know?
An alternate.
You go all the way down. I got it. Right here. Go ahead.
And I'm just going to pull over, and you got to kind of push back with your head a little bit to keep the perfect angle supported.
So this is what, it's lat work, right?
It's lat work, which is the big, keep going, big muscles in the back
Yeah,
area here, under your arms that come down your side. These are the lat muscles, and it's another one of those kind of breathing exercises where you can take a nice deep breath because your chest is expanded when you go back, blow out. Deep
Make
breath.
sure, yeah. When Phil is laying here, let me show you guys. If you think of the energy being placed into the heel, it really does help keep everything nice and firm and strong. Send the energy in through your heel. One of the ways to make sure your lower back is tucked is to kind of slightly tuck your pelvis, right, Phil?
Yes.
It reinforces the lower back being pressed against the ground, which is very, very important in any movement. I mean, real important. It also requires a little more from the abdominal muscles. When you go back here again, you want to make sure that your elbows are not locked straight, because locking a joint doesn't do anything but cause injury. You want to make sure your elbows are slightly bent, it's down, and the lat muscles, this is what you're talking about right here, right, Phil? It's right here, guys, and this really does make a difference. As you're losing body fat and increasing upper body strength, it is so pretty to develop the lat muscles. Really makes a difference.
15, the chest press for chest, triceps, and shoulders.
Okay, guys, so here's what you do. You lift it up and you press it. And again, the base of the perfect angle is right against the upper back. Now, should I scoot back?
No, you can just sit up nice and straight.
Nice.
You don't have to touch the chair unless you really feel like it. Depends on what kind of chair you've got here, really.
Yeah, I like this.
Okay, now I'm going to keep my elbows back, and I'm going to just basically put about a right angle at my elbows, and I'm going to press up, coming together in the front.
See. I don't need the chair because the perfect angle does it.
That's right.
Oh, I love this. Okay, go ahead.
Press up.
Oh, Phil.
You love this one.
Design me something, Phil.
This is it. The designer perfect angle. See, you have the nice pink strengthening bands. I designed those for you.
Oh, you did. It's very girly of you, Phil. Thank you.
I knew you were going to say something.
And again, you want to make sure, guys, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're not grasping the handles. The energy needs to be in the heel of the hand. Make sure your elbows are up shoulder level. You want to relax into it, and you want to press as if you're wrapping your arms around something. And again, the energy pressing back is equal. It's not push forward and then jerk back, because then you're eliminating literally half of the exercise. Phil and I want you to get the most out of this. We want you to make each movement very efficient so that you change your body and increase the strength in your body.
Exercise 16 is chest flies, which also works your chest.
Pick up the handles, grab it, place it on your back. It's so easy to do. It's unbelievable. I like to sit against the chair just to get comfortable. You don't have to. And then the pec fly, which is for the pectoral muscles, right, Phil? You press in and you press out. Again, it's a slightly bent elbow. Check out my elbows. It's a full arm press forward and a slightly bent full arm elbow back. See it? You're not bending through like this. It is press. It's a fly out, just like this. Press. Squeeze through the upper chest.
I have the heavy strengthening bands, and I'm starting to really feel this.
Number 17, triceps extension, works the back of your arms.
Elbows down and in,
big
tricep extensions.
Okay.
And we're going to try to keep your elbows up a little bit, and you're just going to come back.
Extend.
And extend.
Now the key to this, and I'm going to use you as an example, Phil, because it's a great shot.
My arms are starting to get really tired.
Okay, now watch. Phil, you got to be careful with the wrists here, guys. You want to make sure you're not bending back in the wrist, because you're going to feel it if you do. You want to keep the wrist nice and strong and make the movement come from the tricep. See where this is coming from? Look at these arms, look at this chest. He's pressing through the tricep muscle. Again, if you use the muscle that you're trying to increase the strength in, the muscle will increase strength. If you use everything else to get the movement done, it's just a lot of tension. It's very nice, Phil.
It's very
Four
good.
more.
It's very important to do this very slowly.
Right.
Concentrate on the return.
Right.
You're letting that muscle come back down. Extend it. You don't need to be doing this. It's not going to do you any good. Come down, nice and perfect
Squeeze.
form, and go back
So it's
up.
no locking the elbow. It's the resistance up as well as the return. I like that, Phil. The return down. It's requiring the muscle that you're working to do the movement, not everything else. And slow, strong, in perfect
That's all I
form.
can do.
One arm's triceps extension, also for the back of the arms.
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and straddle the perfect angle and place the inside of your feet on each side. The purpose of this is just to hold this in place. I want your knees slightly bent. We're going to do a one-arm tricep extension. Now, this is an advanced exercise, so if you haven't been doing a lot of tricep exercises, this is not the one you want to start with. Now, notice that my elbow is bent. My knees are bent slightly. I'm supporting my back. I'm standing up perfectly straight. Remember that rod that goes through your head, comes out. I'm standing nice and straight. Now, I like to support my tricep with the other hand so it keeps it nice, and I'm going to extend my arm
Very
up
nice. This is great.
and down.
Oh, switching arms, are you,
Switching
Big
arms.
Phil?
Remember, we want to do the body in a balanced state, so we
Yep.
want to work both sides.
Tell me how many reps. Can you do 15 on one,
Let's
15
do
on the
5
other?
to 15 reps, depending on your fitness level. So
Okay.
we'll just start off. If you can only do 5, that's fine. Remember to bend the knees. Now we're going to go ahead and support the tricep. And we're going to go up.
Lift up and press down.
Number 19, the side laterals, works your shoulders and traps.
You lift it up, you press it down. Always with a soft elbow, never locking a joint. Lift up using the shoulders to do the lifting and the pressing slow and strong.
Now this works the deltoid and the trapezius group. I'm just going up. Now let's go ahead and switch to the other side.
Okay.
Remember the balance. We want to do both sides. Now if you're left-handed or right-handed, which most people are one or the other, except for those who are both. There are a group who are both. You're laughing at me.
Really, Phil?
You might not be able to do quite as many on your left side.
And again, it's the
And-
resistance up. Watch Phil's arm. It's the resistance up and also the resistance down, the recovery down. There are two parts to every movement, so he's not just lifting up. He's pressing down. You can think of it, if you want, just until you get used to resistance, as if a ball is right here. Squeeze the ball when you come down. Squeeze it. Now lift it up slowly, which the tubing does so well for you. But think about the ball and squeeze on the way down. Squeeze now. You'll really feel it. Reach it up and squeeze it down. Just do 2 more of these. Lift it up. Press it down one more time. Lift it up.
Nice
Lift
and
it up.
slow and easy. And let's finish the exercise by coming down and relaxing.
Number 20, the one-arm row, works your shoulder muscles.
I remember telling you that we have 21 exercises. Every time I give this program to someone, they come up with another exercise. So
Right.
We just invented another exercise that someone came up with. And we've got one handle in each hand, and we're just going to row like this.
Now this is great. See, I love this because I have done in the past a lot of these with dumbbells, and I love the fact that I can get the exact same resistance, the exact same movement in the upper back, right here. Squeeze you. This is such a comfortable way of doing this movement.
Yes, and to switch the other side, let's just switch hands. We keep
Okay.
using the one in the front. So we
Okay.
got the handles.
Oh,
We're going to
Phil.
row to the left.
I got it. Okay. Lift it up.
Row.
You know, one of the things I always had trouble with in the gym doing this exercise is you do it leaning over a bench and it can
Yes.
hurt your back.
Yes, and
My
you're
back
on
is
your
not
knees
hurting.
and
Yeah.
you're- yes.
My back is not hurting now. You eliminate the knee right here. You eliminate the lower back pain, and this exercise feels so comfortable doing it from this angle. Oop, perfect angle.
Yes.
And number 21 is squats, an advanced overall exercise.
Now we're going to come down and we're going to squat just a little bit and reach up. Oh.
Tell me how good I'm doing, Phil.
This is great. I mean, you really look good.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
well.
Go ahead and make that face. That
I'm not going skiing anytime soon. Although I did just go
exercise.
horseback riding with my children
You really
Yeah,
start
you-
to feel it.
yeah, you
Upper
really
body,
feel
lower
this.
body, get your heart rate up.
in a big way. Well,
Sit down. Let's go sit down.
you know, I got to tell you something. What amazes me, it fascinates me. We just did 21 exercises. We just did 21 exercises using correct form, resistance, control, extension, modifying every single one of them.
Well, we're not done. We've still got some more
I've
modifications
done that
to go.
squat thing, Phil Tyne.
No, we got some modifications.
Oh.
I'm going to show you some more.
Okay, then I'll do it if it's a modification, but no more squat thing.
Last year, the American College of Sports Medicine added resistance training to its minimum recommendations for fitness. That means everyone should be doing some form of resistance training at least twice a week.
If you're at a beginning fitness level and you want some great strengthening tips, watch this.
I'd like to introduce you to Ruth. Ruth is overweight. You're 200 pounds, right, Ruth?
Yes, I am.
And you haven't done much exercise in the last couple of years?
Yes.
What Ruth is considered a beginning level of intensity right now, a beginning fitness level. And one of the things she's doing is the chest press. And I want to show you guys who are beginning and want to do the chest press, the form for it. You want to make sure, Ruth, that your elbows are shoulder level without crunching up your neck. That's it. Perfect. You also want to make sure that what you're using to do the movement is the chest muscles. So if you press through the chest nice and slowly, never do it fast. It's press in and squeeze out. Real nice. Take a deep breath in. Are you feeling that in your chest?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I am.
You gotta breathe, because when you go like this, you can't. Okay, now, another thing that you want to consider here is not to grab the foam of the perfect angle. You want to make sure that's it. See the difference in that?
Uh-huh.
Do you feel the difference?
Yeah, I feel the press.
Nice. And what you're going to be doing when you do it with the muscles you're trying to increase the strength you're going to be working the muscles that you're trying to increase the strength in and increasing your fitness level. That's the point. How does that feel, Ruth?
Real
Great.
good,
You're probably
real
feeling
good.
it up here in the shoulders just from holding your arms up in the right form. Let's go ahead and put it between our legs here. Now remember that the top is facing up. Let's just squeeze in. Squeeze in
Okay.
and hold it, and then relax and open it
Now
up.
see what Ruth is doing, exactly what you said before. When you're at a beginning fitness level and you need a little assistance, go ahead and hold the perfect angle and begin the squeeze in with your hands and then require your inner thighs to do the rest of the work. There's nothing wrong with that. As you start, Ruth, you're going to find that you're going to be able to do more and more repetitions as you get stronger. So you may start with 4 or 5, you'll be at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and up to 15 before you know it.
Now just hold it in and relax. Hold it in, you start to feel it.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Right inside.
Yes.
That's
We've done
great.
2 exercises when we're still sitting in the chair.
Oh,
That's great.
yeah.
Beginning, just start at your fitness level.
And now, here's some training tips if you're physically challenged.
I'd like you guys to meet Maria. Maria is physically challenged. That means she's in a wheelchair. Maria is our intermediate level, and you may be surprised. A lot of people, they look at people in wheelchairs and they go,
Can't work out.
can't be fit.
Not here.
Well, Maria's fit and real pretty and has great hair. I would love to have her hair.
Big hair, though. Big hair, Susan. Very
You
big.
have very big hair. I would love this hair.
Okay.
Okay, explain what you're doing here.
Okay, now actually what we've done is we've placed the perfect angle under the foot pads of the wheelchair.
Right.
Now there are certain wheelchairs, we ran into some sports wheelchairs where it doesn't fit, so we just lifted it up and put it way underneath here.
So you can accommodate that by lifting the chair.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wherever
Right.
your chair is, just put it wherever it goes. It'll
Okay.
fit.
And because now this becomes the base, we can go ahead and do all the exercises that we were doing sitting in a chair. So
All
let's
the
go
upper body
ahead-
stuff.
The
Right.
upper body stuff. Let's go ahead and start with the upright row.
Okay.
Now that's the fly exercise. Let's go to the row. Turn your
yeah,
hands
that's
out.
good.
There you
This
go.
is the right
Nice
one.
row.
Okay.
Good.
And back.
And sit up nice. It's perfect.
Perfect form,
Perfect
yeah.
form.
You know, I think one of the things, and Maria, I think you're a real good example of this, whether you're talking about beginning, intermediate, or advanced, everybody has to modify for a different reason.
Absolutely.
You're modifying
Absolutely.
because you're physically challenged. I
Right.
modified because I was morbidly obese. Phil modifies, well, there's no reason for Phil to modify. He's the inventor, after all.
Okay, now let's do one more. I want you to keep your arms up. Come
Okay.
up and back down.
Your strap is falling. Go ahead.
Perfect.
Go
Now
ahead.
let's go ahead and go right into the next exercise. We're going
Okay.
to go to the side lateral. Just going to go out.
Yeah,
Just
and this
out
is a
and
great
back.
example. Yeah.
Right.
And you really
Same
do
thing.
need upper body strength.
You need a lot of upper body strength, and that's very important to keep your body strong so you can do an exercise like this.
Well, whatever the reason you're modifying, whether it's beginning, intermediate, or advanced level of intensity, Maria, Phil, everybody that uses the perfect angle has the option of doing less repetitions or to use the beginning, intermediate, or advanced strengthening bands. That's why I like the perfect angle so much. Great job, Maria.
Great.
Good job.
Great hair.
If you're a senior and you want some strength training tips, watch this.
Ethel is 64 years old and absolutely magnificent. I want to be like you when I grow up badly.
You
Ethel,
will,
I
you will,
really
you
do.
will.
Now, sometimes seniors haven't moved in years, right, Phil? I mean,
That's right.
how many?
Lost some muscle.
Lost a lot of lean muscle mass. Maybe you're dealing with a degenerative disease, arthritis, a lot of things going on in your body that require strength and require you to be physically fit. And as Ethel says a lot, the quality of your life should be the best now, right, Ethel?
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Yeah. So if you need to modify because you're a senior and it's been a while since you've moved, well, look what happens when you do regain your strength, increase your physical fitness, and increase the quality of your life using the perfect angle.
Okay, let's flip around. We're going to go ahead and do the leg press now. Just flip around. We'll show you how easy this is. And place your feet on the base. You got it. Now roll
Rolling
back
down
nice
slowly,
and easy.
nice. Bring the knees into the chest.
Okay,
Perfect.
turn your hands up like this.
Very nice. And
Support,
press out.
Press up.
Very nice. Look how pretty. Shoulders relaxed, neck is relaxed, pelvis is slightly tucked, and Ethel is pressing through her legs, and watch how she slowly brings those knees back down, pressing all the way up and bringing the knees down. It doesn't matter why you modify. Work within your fitness level, regain the strength, regain the fitness level, and it's unbelievable how much of a difference it can make in your life.
And you can gain strength and muscle tone at any age. When you unpacked your boxwear, when you got the perfect angle, you had a little traveling piece. I think we'll just go ahead and we'll find a little door here, and I'll go over and show you how to use your traveling piece.
Okay.
Okay, Susan, I promised I'd show everyone how to use the traveling piece. Now, when you received your perfect angle, you received a traveling piece. Now, if you'll notice, the traveling piece has two parts. It has a plastic sleeve, and it has a folded area or a lapped over area here that's sewn, which causes it to have a little bulge in it. Now, it's that bulged area that's going to slide through the door jamb and attach this to the door so that you can exercise while you're in a hotel room or at home. We're going to take this bulged area or the overlap side, and we're going to open the door, and we're going to place this through the door jamb so that it comes out on the other side, and feed it all the way through there. Then close the door, and then you're going to want to go ahead and grab a hold of it and pull to make sure that it can't come through the door. This is a safety feature. You want to pull and make sure it's secure. Now, another safety feature is to go ahead and lock the door or put a little note on the other side so that someone doesn't open the door while you're exercising. Take the strengthening bands and the handles, and we have one handle attached, and we're simply going to place the strengthening band through the travel piece. And you'll notice that the plastic sleeve holds onto the tubing. Then we lock our handle on just as we did on all the other exercises that we've shown you, making sure that it's secure. And from this position, we can do several exercises. We're going to do exercises in this position. We're going to move the travel piece to the top or the bottom, depending on which exercises we choose. Now, this is a great one. This is the lunge exercise. Just hold the handles here. We're going to take a nice form. We're just going to take a half a step forward and come back. A half a step forward and come back. You will actually feel the strengthening bands pull you right back up. This is a great exercise for the legs, the glutes, the whole leg area. We come down and back up. We come down and back up. Now, that's one of the exercises you can do from the middle position. Go above the hinge, slide it through there. Make sure it goes all the way through, locks on the other side. Once again, check to make sure it's secure. Check the door to make sure it's locked. From this position, we can do a tricep exercise. Now, this is called a one-arm tricep extension. We're going to extend out and back. Notice that I can shorten or lengthen it with this hand, and I'm going to straight and back out. I'm going straight and back out. Once again, I'm keeping my elbow from locking out. I'm slowly returning. This works the back of the arm, and we can do this in the door while we're traveling. We're going to come down here and place the door traveling piece in the bottom of the door, below the lower hinge. Close the door, lock it, and from this position, we can do exercises like curls. Notice that my back is straight, my knees are bent, I'm working my bicep. We can change right into this upright rowing exercise for the upper back, for the shoulders, and the trapezius group of muscles. We can do this all in our home while we're traveling. And if you'd like to see more exercises, all you have to do is refer to the guide. The Center for Disease Control recently identified a sedentary way of life as the most significant contributor to death from heart attacks. Never before has there been such an incentive to do even a little bit of exercise.
Phil, one of the things that helped me the most as I was losing 133 pounds was when I finally started to understand what I was doing. And when I realized that working at my fitness level was okay, using modification was the key to that, and that I didn't have to keep up with anybody or, do what the 18-year-olds were doing, it really was the turnaround for me. And it's wonderful to be able to show that with the perfect angle and get that message to people.
Yes, and you need exercise for the rest of your life. And you should feel very proud of yourself for starting on this exercise program. If you have any trouble, if you have any problems with this, if you have any questions, there's a toll-free number inside the guide. Just give us a call.
Well, I tell you, Phil, it's a privilege to be a part of helping to get fitness to everyone. I thank you and the perfect angle. It's fabulous, guys. Be well, enjoy.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks, Phil.